I'm Melissa Bays,
I'm Kaya Bays.
and we were just interviewed by Keith Andrew on the Keith Andrew Network. We had a lot of fun. He is doing a wonderful job, even with all of his obstacles that he has to try to get over. And we had a blast. Hope everybody enjoys.
Whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. Never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are, who you're going to be. So prove to them, still amount to something.
Here,
Gentlemen, welcome to the KeithAndrewNetwork. It is episode 1121. That's right, over 1121 episodes, thanks to our two beautiful guests who are here on today's episode. But also, the episode's brought to you by Season 12, Episode 21. Sounds easier to say than 1100, but make it easier. Season 12, Episode 21. Tonight, it's Friday Night SmackDown, and if you're a professional wrestling fan, make sure you go to Peacock and go to WWE.com for all informations on how you can watch WWE SmackDown. Also, tonight is the New York Ranger game. If you guys like hockey, definitely check out 8NHL.com and check out how you can watch all your favorite sports teams. First question I want to ask both of you is tell our audience a little bit about yourself and how both of you started your careers as actresses.
so no, my name is Melissa Bays, and I actually went through modeling and acting classes when I was pretty young, and I had to quit doing it because I was missing too much school and stuff. So I was taken out of it by my mother. Um, I am getting ready to be an empty nester and decided what the heck, I'm gonna get back on it, and better late than never, right?
Absolutely. You have to have the heart and passion to do everything. Take it from me, someone who has done, and I talk with my hands, words I have it. Take it from someone who did things. It could be a title of a book. Do things half-ass. Never do anything half-ass because when you first meet someone, you have the first 10 seconds to make a good impression. Doesn't matter if you're having a good day, shitty day, put a mask on, smile, because you never know when you're going to meet that same person around the corner because you're going to end up meeting the same person down the road.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What about you? Tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
I'm Kaya Bays. I'm a junior in high school. I started to get into modeling because of my mom. She thought it'd be a really good idea for me. But once I started getting into it, it was just kind of a hassle. And school is kind of my number one priority right now.
Well, you do have the looks for it, and you do have an upright future. So I wish you the very best.
Thank you.
No, absolutely. Now, I'm going to ask you the next, to make it easier, I'm going to tell you the subject, and it's for both of you. So the next one is when you were in college, were you a study nerd or party animal? And this question for you, because you're not in college yet, we phrase that to study nerd or party animal in high school.
So I was a little bit of both, actually. I was one that always had my work done. I got decent grades, but I loved going out to the parties and stuff too.
Yeah, kind of me too. I know how to like manage my time well, so I'm always able to get all my stuff done and still have time to go do those fun things.
No, I agree. For me, I was never really a party animal. You know, for me, I was always referred to as that person. Why is he sitting in the corner? Because I had poor social skills. I give you an example. When I was a freshman in high school, it was a horrible year. The only way I got through it is because my brother's friends who did not graduate or either year back, held back, whatever the excuse was, I didn't ask them. They helped me get through my freshman year, but I was the person who sat against the wall who was antisocial. If I had this type of mentality then, with a class of 2002, it's let's see, it's 20 years ago. I suck at math, by the way. 20
22
years,
years.
20 years ago this month, I was a sophomore. So 22 years ago, I was a freshman. If I had this mentality 22 years ago, now I'm like, hey, I have a disability. What are you gonna do about it? But I wasn't like that. I was just more shy, head down, do what you're told. But you are your own worst enemy. If you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm happy at what I see, you can accomplish anything.
Absolutely.
Now, the next one I want to ask you is when you guys were in high school and college, did you do any sports? And what were some of your favorite sports that you did?
So honestly, the only thing we both did was cheer. We were cheerleaders.
Yeah, I was a cheerleader since the 5th grade, so 5, 6,
Years.
7 years. And then I started to do track and then got a hip injury, so I couldn't do that anymore. But I plan on starting track again for my senior year.
Well, it's funny I said I mentioned this because there's only certain groups of people I tell this to because otherwise they make fun of me. Add it to my bucket list. For me, I was always a fan of those human pyramids. I'm a loser. I like that stuff. I don't go around telling people that, but but only people who I like, that's who I tell. What about you guys? Did you ever get the chance to do one?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I actually, one year we did a pop-up pyramid during semi-state. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we never really did the actual like human pyramids. They've kind of gone away from that. So
That's true. But it's human art, it's an exercise, and you're bringing people together. It's all about teamwork. But
Yep.
let me ask you while we're on the subject, for you, did bringing on have an influence on your career? Is that why you wanted to be a cheerleader?
That would be you.
oh, for me,
Yes.
what was it?
Bring it
Oh.
on. Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Or the movie Bring It On that came out with Kirsten Dunst in 2000.
Yeah, cheerleaders in the competition against each other.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I know, 24 years ago, but still. It's funny because that's actually I wouldn't say cult classic because among cheerleaders they always say, "Oh, if you want to cheer, hey," you know, I'm horrible at cheering, but if you like, hey, if you want to be a cheerleader, you have to watch this, you know, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, it is a good movie, and it's definitely one that we've watched over and over again many a times.
So now we're gonna move to the hard-hitting questions, and you can throw it back at me. You can talk about, say anything you want. So next one I want to talk to you about actually. Sorry, if my disability shows more, it's because I have poor social skills. That's why I hint on the talk show. So, so hashtag support people with disabilities.
I think it's great.
No, I appreciate that. So the question I want to ask is, how has COVID impacted both of your lives? And do you see life in a different point of view?
You want to go first?
Oh my goodness. In 8th grade for me was when COVID hit and we all shut down. Um, I'm a very hands-on and in-class person. It drastically ruined my grades, not being able to actually learn from the teacher. Um,
How does it change your life?
along with friends and work and everything, it just hasn't come as easily as it used to before COVID.
Now, what about you?
Oh, COVID. My life has drastically changed since COVID. I ended up getting a divorce and I lost my grandmother through COVID or just before COVID. And it's everything is different since COVID. I hate the fact that Walmart's not open until midnight or, be able to go in at midnight, 1 o'clock. I hate that nobody seems to have any common sense
Right.
or even know how to be nice and not be selfish and all about themselves. If we could go back to the way people were before COVID, it would be such a better world, a better place.
Well, let me ask you this. There's two questions I want to ask you, but let me ask you this. Why does it take a national tragedy for people to pull their heads out of their asses and be good to each other? For an example, I, well, based on my age and your daughter's age, we're close to the same age, hypothetically, but you know what I mean. And the reason I bring it up is, September 11th, people came together and then you were helping your fellow neighbors. The COVID, on the other hand, it's kind of like it was, man, get out of my way, give me my toilet paper, give me it's me, me, me. But you didn't have that mentality on September 11th. But
Right.
I was going to say, before I booster it, I was going to say, people like during Pearl Harbor, people back in like any other big tragedies that happened, people came together. This whole pandemic thing, it's like you go near my wagon, I'm gonna break your freaking fingers. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
I was one of those people too. But I worked at Walmart and I told my dad, hey, can you come pick me up? I bought some stuff for the family and I stuck the wagon in the corner and I said, do not touch. So after like the third time of repeating myself, like you go near my stuff one more time, I'm gonna shove the wagon up at you. So I'm very nice, I'm very professional. Like if you push and push and push, you gotta see, some glass breaking.
Yeah, that's how I am too.
But it's kind of like people. Well, let me ask your daughter this. Before the pandemic, did you always wish that you can stay home and work from home and never leave the house?
No.
That's a good mentality. That's
She
why I like.
loves school.
Yeah, I love going to school. School is kind of like my routine, and if I'm not at school, then it kind of like throws off my entire day.
Well, here's a funny one for you. Did he ever get sick? Well, this is not funny getting sick, but I will explain why it's funny. Did he ever get sick or go take a nap and then forget what day it is and wake
Yes.
up and think you had school?
Yes.
It has hap
Yes.
it has happened to me 2 times in my life. Well, maybe more, but I remember I woke up on a Saturday, took a shower, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss the bus." Meanwhile, I'm standing outside like a jackass with a school bag. People are like, today's Saturday, right?" It's like, well, thanks for telling me. How long were you sitting there watching me for? On the other time was I got sick on a Friday. I took was a bad cold, I went to sleep and I woke up. It was 6 in the afternoon, and I was, oh shit, I'm gonna be. It's uncensored. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna be late for school. And so I got up, and I'm like, why is everybody up? I was up and happy this morning. It's like, what are you talking about? It's 6 a.m. It's p.m. Those are my funny stories. What about you? Do you guys have any funny stories?
On the first day of summer break, she came into my room like, "Oh my gosh, what are you do sleeping in? You're gonna miss the bus. Da, da, da. I'm not taking you to school." On the first day of summer break. Yeah.
I remember there were plenty of times where I'd come home and take a nap and fall asleep, and when I'd wake up, I'd be freaking out and thinking I was late for school or getting ready to go to work or something. I did that on more than a handful of occasions, let me tell you.
That's true. That's why when you take a nap, just do 20 minutes. Anything longer than 20 minutes, you throw your body clock off.
Yeah, you do.
So the next one I want to talk to both of you about is social media. Are you guys on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and have these platforms given you opportunities that you would normally wouldn't have?
So I am on Facebook, Instagram. Yeah. And I have TikTok as well. I am just starting to kind of post more and do more. I am also trying to get into the affiliate marketing with my posts and stuff. So I'm in the process of teaching myself that and being able to get that going as well.
What about you?
I do have TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, and I kind of just like post stuff with like friends and stuff like that, and just kind of talk to friends on those platforms.
Now, the next question I want to ask you, it's called Song of the Day. What song did you listen to on this day? Either it was this morning, this afternoon. Was there a song that you listened to?
Street Runner by Rod Wave.
Thank God by Kane Brown.
Oh, I didn't. Is it a good song? I never heard of it before.
Thank God. Yeah, it is. It's a
Yeah,
song that he did with his wife.
oh, nice. I definitely check that out. Now, the other song, actually, another question I want to ask you is about music. Was there any music that influences your life, like when you work out or if you're just want to relax? Is there any type of music that you listen to just to like, not to say the words zone out, just to help you calm down and
I have a homework playlist, a car playlist, a worship playlist, and a workout playlist.
that's
So
more than what I have.
they're kind of each like their own type of music.
No, that's absolutely amazing, and I didn't mean to interrupt. I do apologize.
No, you're fine.
So now I usually listen to Today's Country, like in the car or when I'm going to work. And then I listen to like the 90s, 2000s pop type when I'm working out. And then also here and there, like in the car, if it's playing that bad country song or something.
For me, I like listening to mood music. It depends. Some of them are really freaking depressing. Like Mopey. He's really depressing. He makes me want to jump out the window. He's good. There's some songs that are good. It's just don't listen to Mopey if you're upset. for working out or just relaxing, I am, in no disrespect by this, I listen to this religiously. I love Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball to me, hands down, is the greatest cartoon because so many people, this cartoon started in 1986 and it's amazing at TV shows, movies, uh, I think comic books. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Everyone will to reference this. And there's a scene in The Flash where he's talking to his girlfriend Iris, and they make a Dragon Ball reference. And then there's another cartoon, and they make a Dragon Ball reference. So it's really funny how this one cartoon has inspired so many people worldwide. Do you guys
Mhm.
like Dragon Ball?
I've never really gotten into it. That was kind of my brother's thing.
Well, the mood music for them that they have, some of the music, it's really good. And some of the fan-made music of it's really good too. Anyway, I'm a Dragon Ball fan in professional wrestling. Do you guys like wrestling?
I like watching it.
I used to be really into it about 20 years ago. The
Have you ever?
Undertaker was my favorite.
Oh, hands down, he's one of the greatest.
Hmm.
How would you feel if your daughter became a professional wrestler?
Oh, I've never.
I think that would be great.
Wait, like fighting wrestling or actually like pinning to the ground wrestling?
Like pinning to the ground, like
Oh,
WWE.
no.
What about UFC?
Oh, yeah. I do some UFC, not wrestling. I could not be pinned to the ground.
Did you know UFC, I think it was UFC or MMA, they actually did a tribute to the troops back in the day.
I did. I think that was when Dana still had it as MMA.
I never met him, but I heard he was a nice guy.
That's what I heard too.
Well, man, do you guys like, well, there's two people that tried MMA but they didn't last long, unfortunately. Jason David Frank, if you're familiar with his name. Jason David Frank is Tommy from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He was an MMA fighter, and
I did not know that.
no, I can send you some videos. He was really good. Unfortunately, he committed suicide, but that's a long story about that. Never go to sleep angry. That's pretty much the long story about that. And CM Punk, he got knocked out, I think, in the first 2 minutes of his fight.
Oh, wow.
So that pretty much killed his career.
Yeah.
So the next one I want to ask you, with everything that you guys accomplished in your careers and going to accomplish in your careers, do you want to be movie stars? Do you want to be TV stars? Do you want to focus in voiceovers?
Honestly, right now my interest is in all of it. I don't necessarily know just yet if I prefer one over the other just yet. I would really like to be doing commercials or like a series, like a family series of some sort.
Hey, never say never.
Hey, it could happen. You never know.
I don't know. Just a family series of our family would just be really funny.
No, I'm not saying of our family.
Oh, good.
I'm just saying like This Is Us or A Million Little Things or something like that. Yeah.
Anyway.
Life in Pieces is really good. I would recommend that.
Yeah, that's another good one.
For me, my brother actually had a chance to turn us into a reality show, but my mom said no, and this would probably turn into a horror thing. She was against it.
That's how ours would be.
So I want you guys to be brutally honest wrapping up our interview segment. And I'm looking forward to part 2. But I want you to be brutally honest. I have no cards on my sleeve. When I first approached both of you to be guests on my talk show, what made you say yes? How do you feel now? And would you recommend it to other people?
So the reason I said yes was, honestly, I wanted the ability to be able to tell my story, like you had posted. And it's also good to put on my resume.
No, I agree with you. Well, what about you?
Honestly, today I literally prayed about being able to meet new people and talk to new people. So when my mom, when she came like over the phone, when she asked me if like I wanted to do this, I was like, yeah, like I don't care, yeah. So I just thought that was kind of crazy. I don't know. I prayed about it today and then it happened. So.
Oh, I appreciate that. You know, one of the things people are like, I agree with you 100%. You know, I do have a couple questions for you guys off the air, but wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege having both of you on the show. And until we meet again, I catch you later. Thank you and have a good night.